You okay?
That's true. That's right.
Yeah. What else
close.
would it be?
You're
The
close.
funniest. What? It's not right.
No, you're close.
The taint. That was really loud.
Okay, hold on. Is it have to do with testicles?
It's the penis. You said the penis.
It is the
You're on the
penis?
right track. Yeah.
Oh, you said that wasn't. You said I was close.
Yes.
The taint is right there. Skin between the ball sack
I
and the
know what it is.
asshole.
I
Okay.
know what it is.
Okay.
I'm crying.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 35 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We are back again this week, and with me, I have Caitlyn
Hey, y'all.
and Shawn on Discord, being his beautiful ass self as always.
Hey, boo.
Caitlyn, you're beautiful too. I'm gonna let you out. I didn't mean to skip over you
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks, y'all.
You too, Kyle.
she's like head in lap, dejected, looking at her phone. Thank you all for tuning in for another week. We bring back to you our interesting quirks and multitude of, what's the word for when you trail off topic that we always do? Well, what do we call it? When we always trail off topic, what do we call those? There's a word for it. I forget. We do it a lot though. Just like right now we're doing it as I'm trying to think of this word.
Tangent, I believe is what you're looking
Tangents,
for.
yes, the master of tangents. We are very good at doing that and talking about useless shit for 10 to 15 minutes. So, but hey, so we'll go ahead and start with an intro, get a little bit of everyone's week before we move into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. And we'll start with you, Caitlyn. How's your week been?
Pretty boring.
Can you speak up for our audience there?
Kyle, I spoke right into the mic. Fuck off. I'm not saying anything
So
anymore.
pretty boring.
Just worked the whole week.
Work, getting ready for school to start on Monday.
I want to die.
Oh man, that's
my
always
God.
an exciting time. So, yeah, moving on up. Still working towards our. What are you planning on doing? What degree are we pursuing?
Who
We
the
don't know
fuck
yet.
knows?
Yeah, we don't know yet. Okay, that's not a big
I'm
deal.
taking anatomy, so it's gonna make or break.
I'm still at the point where I
my-
might even.
Oh, thanks for interrupting me, Kyle. Fuck
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm still at the point where I might even change my degree.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna keep going.
I know, right? Always doing that.
So taking anatomy, what does that have to do with anything? Everyone has to take anatomy.
No.
Yeah,
If you're an engineering degree, you do not need anatomy.
I had to take anatomy.
I don't know what
I
the
took
fuck you're
anatomy.
doing.
Everyone has to
no.
take anatomy. I'm pretty sure everyone has to take anatomy. Hey, if you know the answer, feel free to correct us in the comments.
I don't think.
I think everyone has to take anatomy. At least one
Why?
anatomy course.
No, I don't think that's the case. I have human anatomy.
And
I don't think that's the case.
what other anatomy is there?
Childlike. Kyle,
We'll stop
fine.
talking about.
I'm gonna
Oh,
leave if
jeez.
you make me look like an
We'll
idiot.
stop. We'll stop
Anatomy.
talking about college because I know that triggers me and it might trigger a couple other people too. So we'll leave that out of the talks. We did go see The Last Showman today, actually, or The Greatest Showman. My bad, The Last Showman. That sounds interesting. And we'll talk about that when we get to the movies. Have our thoughts on that. We said we were gonna finish. What's it called? Made in Abyss, Shawn, and we completely forgot. But I guarantee for next week, because we only have 2 episodes, that we will all be available to talk about Made in Abyss, and we could kind of pick that show apart, its goods and its bads, and talk about it on the podcast.
Character development.
We've discussed it.
I can't wait.
We discussed it a little bit prior, so we'll get into a full in-depth talk. And if you guys want to join us, it's not on Crunchyroll. You might have to. I don't even know where you would watch it. It might be on Hulu. I have no clue. But if you want to participate with us in that review, you got a week. It's 12 episodes, 14 episodes, 13 or 14 episodes long. It's an anime. So if you don't like anime, hey, it's got the same quirks that most animes do. But it's pretty enjoyable. I mean, I don't want to say well written, but it's an enjoyable story or characters. I could say the characters are well developed at least, but the story has its issues, and we'll talk about that when we get there. So that'll be ready for next week, and that'll be probably be our review corner. So if you guys want to participate in that, feel free to watch it. Again, I don't know where you'd find it, but just Google it. I have faith that you all out there can use the internet in order to find this show. So, and again, that's Made in Abyss, like made in China, but the word abyss. So, we'll talk about Greatest Showman when we get to the movie segment, because that was pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And as for my week, it's been pretty normal, actually. Not much has really happened. Been doing a decent amount with games, at least. Been playing Siege on the computer still, a little bit here and there. I know me and Shawn have been getting back into Final Fantasy, so I recently changed my class because we have way too many DPSs, and I was the only tank. So I was going to be the only tank. So at least for the main dungeons and the trials, you really only need one tank. I know some of the larger dungeons in the future, you need 2 tanks because there's 8 people in the larger dungeons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once we get there,
I hear rumors that the raid dungeons you can have 16.
That sounds awesome. I love big ass raids. That's one of the reasons that WoW kind of pertains to me, because they have 40-man raids. Although those must be a bitch to coordinate, it's still pretty cool to play with 40 people and do that stuff. So that's pretty interesting. So I've been enjoying Final Fantasy. I've been actually diving back into Assassin's Creed Origins as well and playing through that. I'm about 14 hours in. Again, really enjoying that game. I just want to go everywhere and look at everything. Such a pretty world that they put together. Seeing Egypt and just exploring it is really cool. I've also heard that they have a mode that they're coming out with. I don't know if it's out yet or they're working on it, where you can actually explore Egypt and there's no enemies, no objectives, and it's just a really big virtual museum. And they'll show you different areas and talk about things and history with Egyptian history and shit like that, which sounds super cool.
Oh, damn it! Now you've made it interesting.
Yeah,
that's where the old ones were interesting. They had all those historical bits where they'd teach you about stuff.
Yeah, so that sounds like that'd be super cool when that comes out. I don't know when it does come out, but I have heard that it's in production. So that'd be super awesome just to walk around Egypt and learn about the history of this this world they put together, which is super cool. But besides that, the rest of the game's really fun. The combat's really well designed. I've said this all before.
Okay. Hang on real quick. The party size for a standard raid is 8. If you do an alliance raid, it's composed of 3 parties, so it's a maximum of 24.
Damn. Sounds like fun. I'm so excited to get into endgame content.
Yeah.
We're still just barely puddling along in base game stuff, and they got all this really cool end game stuff that we're trying to get to, which doesn't help that I changed my class because I almost had a level 50 character.
3 times?
Well, the first one I didn't put a lot of time into. I started as a pugilist. I hit level 5. I'm like, this is boring, and then I switched to a thaumaturge, and now I'm a summoner. But the cool thing about Final Fantasy is it's all just based on whatever weapon you have equipped, so you could instantly pop right back into that class and you're good to go. So I always think that's really cool. And I think, don't they also do catch-up XP, where if you have a character that's a really high level, all your lower level characters get a bonus experience boost while they do stuff? I'm pretty sure that's the case, because when I'm doing stuff as a gladiator, which is what I am right now, working towards paladin, I have a permanent 140% boost to my experience. All the time for the past 25 levels I've had that. So I think they have catch-up XP, where if you have a really high level class, the game can tell that, and it gives an XP bonus to all your lower level classes. So that's pretty cool. They make it where it's not as much of a grind to get back up there, especially since you don't have any quests, because all your quests are already done. So you're pretty much just doing these events or leva quests to get your ass back up there. So that definitely helps reduce the unbearable grind. I wouldn't say it's unbearable. It's okay. So that's that. Besides that, yeah, Assassin's Creed for the most part. Me and Tyler recently started the Doomsday heist in GTA, and we started some of the things for that, the setup missions. We have not finished it yet. Really cool though. I have a really big feeling they're gonna keep updating this game even through Red Dead Redemption 2. So I think it was a good idea to pick it up when it was on sale for what it was, and here's to hoping at least a couple more heists, because they're really fun, and I love seeing what they produce, especially with GTA, because they've already lost. It's gone like Saints Row up the ass. They've lost pretty much almost all sense of realism at this point, but it's super cool to see. It feels super spy heavy, so it's really fun to go through all those different heists and work together as a group to complete an objective. But besides that, that's pretty much all we've done in gaming. Anime. I mean, I know you and me, Shawn, we started watching that Recovery of an MMO Junkie show. We got a couple episodes in that. We need to finish that. Also, have you ever seen... there's one show that popped into my mind that I wanted to watch with you. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I forget what it was.
Well, that's good talk.
I really wish I remember. But I thought, like, oh, that'd be so cool to watch, but we have to wait till we finish everything else. What do you think about this MMO show that we've seen? The little bits that we have watched of it so far.
I think it's funny. I like the characters. And Zim wants to join the podcast.
Seems like, dude, I fucking love anime, man. You guys should have brought me in for this.
Excited.
You sound like it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like it. I like the characters. It's funny. It's got little call outs here and there to stuff. I think I would have done a few things different. I mean, in their minor gripes. Oh, she's actually playing just a standard MMO, like what I was doing right before we started this, actually. So the interactions that she has with other characters while she's playing is very, it's very normal. Like her character moves normal. It flips from being real world to a cartoon in the game, which would make sense if it was VR, that like Sword Art or something, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when she's playing a standard MMO game, because that kind of stuff just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it kind of throws me for a loop. And I mean, if they had just done, I don't know, like a little dissolve or something, just to let you know, hey, she's she's kind of adding her own imagination flavor text, so to speak.
Yeah.
It would have felt a little bit more right, because I still keep trying to treat it like it's Log Horizon or something, but without the tension.
I'm pretty sure that is like the case, because the way she reacts, just in even when she's like at the computer and the show react, it's just they don't do a good job of relaying that information to the viewer. But I think that's the intention.
Feels odd.
Yeah. No, I
like
get
there's no differentiation between the real world and the game world.
Yeah, and they'll only have like every once in a while, you'll have like a small hint or nod there, like, oh, he's AFK, or can you stop spamming the cry emote or something like that, and they'll have little hints here and there. But for the most part, they're fully like as if it was something like SAO or Log Horizon or something along those lines. So no, I understand. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it too. I think it's fun, and it has its moments where it's pretty funny, and it's just kind of heartwarming seeing these two characters that decide to make characters in a game that were the opposite genders of themselves falling in love. I think that's pretty interesting, and it's something you wouldn't really expect from Japan, being as I don't really want to say homophobic, but they're definitely not very progressive, I'll say.
Not when it comes to gender fluidity and things. And that was something I was telling you when we were watching it, is it's interesting because not once does it never draws attention to the fact that she's a female playing a male in a game, and she's getting feelings for the male character or the male player behind the character. But mostly she's getting feelings for a male character playing a male, and you have a male character who's playing the female, getting feelings for the
you probably just confuse the fuck out of everybody, dude.
Including me.
Yeah.
You have a guy being attracted to a guy character and a girl being attracted to a girl character.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They've even gone far enough to sit there and say
outright, yeah,
that
like,
they're attracted to the person that's playing it. So not only have you now broached a very strange topic, but then the idea of how the sexuality is being handled is just completely not even an issue. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like the fact that she's a girl, getting feelings for a girl as she's playing as a guy. I don't know. It just poses some interesting questions.
Yeah.
And I like how they're not drawing attention to it in the negative light like they typically do.
Yeah. It reminds me of when we used to play like 360 back in the day. We were really big into Fable, and I think it was Fable. Was it Fable 3? Ken, did you ever play Fable 3? That was the one where you were like a king and you had to defend.
Remember when we kept the Xbox on like all night?
Yeah, in order to make money, in order to cheese to make money, you got money just as you played. But the way the game progressed was by like actually sleeping, I think, is how you move days forward. But you could leave an Xbox on and you'll continue to accrue money just by doing things. And you, depending on the ending of the game, was how much money you had to save your people, basically. And so what we would do is, in order to make a shitload of money, just to remove that that tension, we just leave the Xbox on all night. And by the time we got there in the morning, we had like millions of gold, like millions of units of gold, just ready to go, and we didn't have any worry. Like I had like money left over, because it'd be like, do you want to like bolster your defenses here? Spend this amount of money, and I was just like dropping everything. I want as many people to survive as possible. So I thought that was we did that, but. The original point of the story was when we used to play, it had an online feature, and it was me and the other Tyler that was here last week. We would play, and I was a female, but you could like have babies with other characters if you played with them. So I was like the girl that everyone passed around to make children for the achievement. And I remember me and Tyler had a kid. And our baby was black for some reason, and we named her Dark Chocolate. And
Oh god!
it was like we spelled it like a stripper name too, so it was like DARK or DARQ.
Like that's how you spell dark, Kyle.
Listen, it was DARQ and then like chocolate, and that was the name of like our baby. And so we just passed it around, and I think one of us eventually got like a STD. So I was like really worried to do. I was like super cautious to do anything with any of them, because I'm like, I don't want your STDs. Get that shit away from me. So it was just funny that like interaction was weird, and like we're both sitting in a party and our characters are making love in the game. You don't actually see anything, and then like a baby's there, and it's like, well, that was weird. So I don't know. It's just, it reminded me of that. I thought that was funny, but we love Fable 3. Although I heard from a lot of people it wasn't the best Fable. That was the first one I played, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I like the idea of Fable. Too bad Peter Molyneux is a piece of work. Not in the good way. He's the director of those series. He always overpromises things, and I mean, again, that's not technically wrong because everyone does that, but he's almost in the point where he's like in what's the name of the developer for No Man's Sky? Sean Murray? I think it was Sean Murray, right? Yeah, he's almost in the realms of Sean Murray when he's like where he's practically lying about features in a game in order to overhype it. So that's Peter Molyneux, and he's like the director. But he does
pretty much destroyed Lionhead Studios. And it's not like they were short on talent to make decent games. It's just the guy who was running the place was
little
if he had
ambitious.
If he had sold the games as they were, I think you would have had a great experience. I really don't think you would have had any of those problems, man.
Yeah,
I really don't, because it's not like they were bad games. I mean, the endings were a little wonky in some of them, but the games themselves, for the most part, the gameplay was fun. The plot elements were fun. You know, I played, I think, Fable 2 and 3. I didn't play 4. And I didn't beat any of them.
I don't think there was a 4
all the way through, but I had a great amount of fun.
There was a 4? I thought 4 got canceled. I remember there was a Fable 4.
I thought there was like a multiplayer, super multiplayer one come out.
They had one called
I
Legends.
don't know, but I played. I'm pretty sure there was 4 and they canceled the 5th one. But I played 2 of them after. I never played the first one.
It's not out yet. Fable 3 was the last game in 2010. Damn, 7 years ago.
I want to play it again.
Yeah.
How much is it?
If my Xbox didn't fucking shit
It's
itself.
only on Xbox?
Yeah, Fable's only the Xbox. So yeah, if my Xbox hard drive didn't like shit itself and delete everything, we would still have all those games.
It lasted for a really long time.
Yeah, and the last of the 360's life cycle, they gave out a bunch of games for free every month, and I was downloading the shit out of them, just to play them. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, Shawn. What were you saying?
Yeah, he does it a lot, doesn't he?
Listen here. Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, that was that. We had some fond memories with Fable. And all of it was just those small interactions. We never actually played the game with each other because I don't think you really could. I mean, I remember it showing you where other people were, but you can only meet up in certain areas to do certain things. I don't think you could actually roam around with other people. But what they did allow was fun, so that was definitely interesting. I already said that. Never mind. So, I'm glad that you both could join me tonight for episode 35 of the Thought Patrol podcast. Again, we are back. I don't know what we say our main topic was going to be.
Butts.
Caitlyn keeps pushing the butt idea. What would we talk about butts?
Why they're good for our society.
I'm more of a titty man myself. Shawn, ass or titties?
But if you... What?
Ass or titties? Give it to me straight.
I couldn't choose, man. I'm a total package guy.
Oh, not bad.
I mean, I guess that's a good answer. It's all about the boobs, though.
No, but it's the absolute truth, man. You could meet one because your attraction is somebody. First of all, the initial attraction is a skin deep kind of thing. It's the looks that hook you and the personality that keeps you there. So when I meet somebody, it's more about how they balance their looks. You know, if she's it really just on a superficial nature, I'm not particularly partial to anything as long as the overall presentation is interesting. That's really kind of where I go. I love boobs, love ass, love vagina. I like the whole thing. I like all of it.
It's confirmed on episode
I don't really
35.
prefer a part. Just depends on what I'm looking at.
January 7th, 2018. Shawn eats ass. It's been confirmed. Send out.
He's like, yeah.
Call the Queen of England.
Never said I didn't.
That's nasty. Poop comes out.
I have a story. One day I'll share it with the podcast.
Okay. When you're more comfortable. We could save it for we could save it for our 1 year anniversary.
No, I want to hear it.
You'll have to be here on the 1 year anniversary.
I want to hear it.
Well,
Shawn eats ass episode.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just a picture of your face and like a mosaiced out
Giant
booty hole.
ass.
Yeah, I can make that. I can make that.
No.
We'll push the boundaries of what we can get on YouTube. Pull Logan Paul.
Oh God, no, let's not be him. Anyone but him.
Do they have like a douchebag of the year award? I think
Philip DeFranco does.
He does?
Yeah.
You think it'll give it to Logan Paul?
No, the Paul's thing wasn't quite bad enough, I don't think.
No. I mean, maybe if he did like a YouTube douchebag of the year, I think he fits that. But there's a lot worse that people have done over the year, obviously, with like crime and shit like that. But
With crime and shit.
Yeah, crime and shit like that.
That kind of shit.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. The bad stuff, not recording a suicide victim. So again, I'm glad you both can join me. I'm glad that we all are able to gather here every week and discuss stupid shit in gaming. Nice burp. That was good.
Excuse me.
Got it on air. So we're going to move over to our housekeeping real quick. There's multiple ways to connect with the Thought Patrol crew. We have a Discord. If you want to stop by, say hi, drop a dank meme. Caitlyn loves dank memes.
I'm all about those dank memes.
Especially if you know the way.
Kyle, shut up!
That meme is not as funny as it was the first day because it's been shit posted to hell.
For or against Tide Pods? That's the question.
Against Tide Pods. I don't think I think Tide Pods were less funny than Ugandan Warrior Knuckles.
Well, Tide Pods are relatable.
How are they relatable? Who wants to eat a Tide Pod? I've never looked at a Tide Pod and thought I want to eat that.
What do you mean it has bleach?
But I've always wanted to be a
Ugandan
Ugandan warrior.
It has bleach in it.
Does it have bleach in it?
That's the whole point.
Not enough to kill you. You could probably eat a Tide Pod and not die.
To kill you.
No. I don't think so. How do you think kids die when they eat the Tide Pods? They eat one.
Well, those are kids. I'm talking about like a full-grown adult. There's a difference there.
Oh, what's the difference?
There is a big one.
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Google.
We'll have to test it. No. Can eating a Tide Pod kill you?
It does kind of look like
eating a Tide Pod kill you?
Can you kill you?
You fuck.
Can you kill you? That's perfect.
Summary from Science. How stuff works. Can a sound wave kill you?
Oh my god.
Soundwave probably could kill you if it was high enough. Shatter your eardrums, cause internal bleeding.
Anyways.
All right.
Dumbass.
If you have anything that you want to discuss that we talk about on this episode or previous episodes, feel free to drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you like our content, feel free to subscribe either on the podcasting service you're listening to us from or on YouTube, our main base. We have Let's Plays over there as well. You can check out if you feel the need to. I try to get more people than just me because I have the most time to do stuff. But whenever I can get a second person recording with me, I'd love to do that. I think those are much more fun. So I try to do it when I can. And we record every other day. We release an episode of some sort. And the podcast comes out every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Which, if you're listening right now, first responders, I like it. We also have a Twitter, @ThoughtPatrolPD. You can get updates from the crew. If we do plan something like a game night down the line or something where you could all hang out with us. I know we've done it before. We hung out with a funny guy when the Monster Hunter beta. And speaking of Monster Hunter beta, when we get to the news, we have some interesting news about Monster Hunter coming very soon, which I'm super excited about. If you really like us and you want some top level brownie points with us, Caitlyn just stuck a lint roller to my monitor. Why would you do that? Take it off.
I'm working on it.
Just pull it off.
I think somebody might have a short attention span.
She does. And if you break anything, you're buying me something.
I don't know what.
Oh my god. Jesus. See, I can't keep anything within arm's reach. Oh my god. How old are you?
5.
Oh, okay. I accept it then. Yeah, iTunes review. That will help us a lot, especially on podcasting services. If you have any podcast services that you listen to that does reviews, if you're willing to drop something, help us get up there when it comes to search results and stuff like that, that'd be awesome. So we'd really appreciate that. Let's move on to our game segment. Again, it's been a busy weekend. I did not get a chance to find a story. I need to do it earlier. Are you okay? Are you okay? We're losing it.
Oh my god, it's late.
It is. Well, it's only 7:30. It's not that late.
It's not late at all.
I don't know why I'm laughing. That was so funny.
It's okay. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
So
so we're back with Urban Riptionary. So Ken, you want to read this week's Urban Riptionary?
Yes.
Okay.
How you looked at it?
Oh shit! Well, you're gonna pick another one.
Okay.
My eyes are shrouded. All right, I'm not looking.
Well, how do I do a random one?
Don't do random; they suck. Pick from the alphabetical list. We'll start with this one first, and I just won't talk about it. We'll have Shawn guess. No, I want it though. I looked for this damn word, Caitlyn.
That's okay.
I want to. Are you gonna read it or not?
You had to click on the
You can do
internet
that
now.
one.
Come on.
I could do this one. Okay,
Yeah.
now. So first,
I don't know
the
what
first word, Shawn, that we have for you. Are you participating in this too? Or have you already seen it? Okay. It's not very hard. It's just funny. It's a badonka cock. I think we've stunned him. Shawn?
Does it have to do with penis?
It does indeed. That's a good first question there. I'm pretty sure this one's pretty easy. I think you got this one down, Rat.
Yeah, you
dude,
think?
look.
Does it have to do with large penises?
It does. It is a very large penis, a.k.a. a lapdog, a.k.a. a monster crank. So that's what a badonka cock is.
Monster crank is what I am.
Let me read the sentence here. This is from Kyle, so I'm actually participating in this sentence. Kyle says, "Dude, did you see Michael in the shower after practice?" Andrew, yeah, man, he's got a honky-tonk badonka cock. Absolutely enormous. Kyle says that he does. You know I'm all about looking at Michael's badonka cock.
Oh my god.
You could get any word on a mug and its definition.
On a mug.
You should have been with us last week. We had a doozy last week. All right, give us something else, Ken. I won't
Close
look.
those eyes.
I'm closing. My eyes are closed.
I'm looking. All right. We got badongle.
Okay, a badongle.
Yeah. Ask your questions now.
Is it sexual in any way, shape, or form?
No.
No. Okay, Shawn. What about you? What do you
Does
think?
it have to do with a specific part of the human anatomy?
Yes.
Oh shit, a badongle. I'm thinking.
A badongle.
The juices are flowing. It has to do with a specific part of the body, and it's not sexual?
No.
What?
It's like the last one.
It's like the last one. Okay, a badongle. Is it have to do with a male body?
Yes.
The male body, a badongle. Go ahead, Shawn.
Come on, the male body. What's the funniest part of the male body?
Well, obviously, I think it's penis. What? You okay?
That's true. That's right.
Yeah. What else would it be?
You're
The
close.
funniest. What? It's not right.
No, you're close.
The taint. That was really loud.
Okay, hold on. Is it have to do with testicles?
It's the penis. You said the penis.
It is the
You're
penis?
on the right track. Yeah.
Oh, you said that wasn't. You said I was close.
Yeah.
The taint is right there. Skin between the ball sack and
I know
the
what it is.
asshole. Okay.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I'm crying.
So it is penis. It involves
It has
penis.
to do with the penis.
What about Sean's question? Does that have to do with testicles?
No.
That's a pretty good one. Badongle sounds like something you'd call a testicle. Is it like a type of penis?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a type of penis.
Yes.
So it's a specific type of penis.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
What question are we even on?
I don't know. The last one was a very large penis. So this is.
Shawn, do you get it?
Is it a very small penis?
Here. Oh, what was it? Badonka cock was to large penis as
Okay.
badongle is to.
It's not a small penis?
Yes. It's
Well, that's what Shawn said.
When did he say that?
He just said that.
Just now?
A badongle.
All right, that goes to you, Shawn. Good job.
Yeah, Shawn got the point there.
All right.
Oh, let's do one more. I have faith in you, Cal. Give us a good one, a doozy. We're in the B sections.
So,
I have faith in you. We're gonna get copywritten struck.
But I'm singing it.
So you'd be humming something and get hit by copyright. Zim loves the podcast. Did you find something?
no, people start moving around as soon as we get on the podcast.
Yeah. Perfect timing. Hey, it's 7 o'clock on a. Oh Jesus! It's 7 o'clock on a Sunday
All
night.
right.
Let's interrupt Kyle's recording session.
We got badonk. I don't know how to say this.
You don't know how to say it?
But here.
Here, cover
Take
the.
her away from B words.
Am I covering the definition?
Here, I'll put it up a little bit.
Cover
Give
it?
your hand.
Okay.
All right, right there.
Badonka delicious. Okay. Badonka delicious. Does it have to do with a butt?
Yes.
Okay. That was a good start.
This is gonna be hard.
Hard. Okay, Shawn. So it has to do with the ass. Okay. What you got? She's losing her shit over there. I think last week's was still pretty good. The one with milking his nuts. I thought that was revolutionary. What do you got, Shawn? So it has to do with the butt.
Just one.
Throw us another question. Oh, he's muted. I didn't even see. I'm assuming
I didn't hear the word phrase.
it's badonka delicious.
Does it have to do with eating ass?
No.
It doesn't have to do with eating ass. I was gonna say, but it'd be tossing that girl's salad. Jesus!
Is it a delicious looking ass?
Please don't tell me.
Yes, you're getting warmer.
Okay, it has to do with the
You're
good. I was gonna say,
getting
please don't tell me it has anything to do with poo, because I don't want to deal with it then. So it's a delicious looking booty. We can only get so close.
Okay, well, that's close enough. A girl
Okay.
with an ass masterpiece possessing the perfect ratio of butt cleavage and curve that cannot be distinguished from being bootylicious or being badonkadonk or badonkadonk.
Did you say bootylicious? Did I hear that right?
Bootylicious.
Bootylicious.
Okay.
What?
My body's so
So-
bootylicious.
Oh Jesus, chill out. You're like screaming into the microphone.
Read this. Read the second
Okay.
part.
A culo, I don't know what that is, so fat with a P that you wouldn't miss a stroke if your wife walked in. You would tell your wife, you can watch, jump in, or have her when I'm done. Oh, Jesus. And that's so fine that even the Taliban would leave their goats try to run a train on it. What the fuck?
That's kind of fucked up.
My wife
That
is...
is us here. We are the.
Yes. The Badonkalicious
Yeah.
podcast.
we are- wow.
My wife is too badonka delicious to be lonely when I deploy to Afghanistan again. Wow, that's what they
That's kind of strange.
Okay.
Your turn.
Yeah, we need to get out of the bees here.
Push the random button.
The random button sucks ass.
Alexa.
We'll start with C. Stop it. Real quick, let's do one more. Man, this is the part. Here we go. Crack whore. Oh my God! Look at this one. Okay. All right. Top definition. So this is all one word. Crack whore. Call the cops on my ass. Shit eater fatty. And this is the most annoying person to walk on the face of the earth. Stupidity at its best. Otherwise named Lauren. And I'm not going to say the last name because that might be a legitimate person. That's someone pissed off, so they wrote a they wrote an Urban Dictionary about them. That was all one word. All right, that was good. Oh Jesus, look at that
These
one.
are kind of oh my
man,
God.
that's the N word. Let's get out of here.
Wait,
on the wrong side.
No.
What?
Crack whip.
Crack whip? No. Let's leave it.
You can't think of any other words.
Some of these, this is really like hit or miss a lot of the time with some of these, because there's so many people put up their own like definitions that you run into some really shitty ones along the way. That whole segment's gonna be so loud because you're like sitting there cackling into the
so
microphone.
funny.
Jesus Christ. All right, so that was our Urban Dictionary. I want to say I promise, but by next week. We're gonna have stories back, so we're gonna go back to stories because we only started like its evolution moving into like a video game thing. So we will see a return to. Do we even call it Germany or Florida anymore? Or should we just rename it into something else? Because that would make it easier for me to find stories about it. Because I could just pull crazy news stories. We'll have a name by next week. We'll figure it out. I'll call a guy who will call a guy. For the for our old Germany or Florida segment, because it changed the last time we did it. It's now like based in video games. You gotta blow your nose, you said?
Yep.
Go find a thingy to blow your nose with.
What? Because it doesn't matter what you do. It can always be written as a video game thing around it.
No, I'm saying,
but
we should rename it though. I don't think it should be called Germany or Florida. That would also make it easier on me to find fucking. Oh God. I hear Bruce. That'll also make it easier on me to find stories, so we could, because it was getting really difficult to find stories from Germany or Florida, which I was surprised. I thought I'd be able to find it better of the all-knowing internet. Hey, Bruce, welcome. All right, the doggo has arrived. So we'll have a story by next week, though. So we'll figure all that out when we get there. So moving forward, that was our game segment, Urban Riptionary. There's no way in hell he's gonna stay on that bed, but hey. We're going to move on to our... Also, eventually, I don't know how much time I have to give Shawn before Kyle Ruins returns. But it will return eventually, you mark my word. So we're going to move on to our box office tops. Look at that, Bruce didn't stay on the bed. He's not going to stay on the bed. He's going to be all over the place like he was last time he was in the room.
Do your shit.
Your mic was muted. I love the professionalism here. We try, guys. I promise.
Fuck off, Shawn.
No, that was my fault.
Read.
Okay, so we're moving on to our box office tops. So for this week, or the weekend of January 5th to the 7th, we have at number 1, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, pulling $36 million.
Damn, what the fuck? In its third week.
In its third week, grossing $244 million. And I've heard that it's pretty good. So I do want to see it eventually. But we still have to go, like on the 18th is when they're showing Mary and the Witch's Flower, and those are like $15 tickets, so movies might not be happening. We'll see. Definitely be something to watch out or check for. At number 2 we have Insidious, because why do these movies still make money?
I don't know.
See, what did I say?
There's another one.
He's like all over the place. God damn it.
Read.
This dog is all over us. He's like standing up on Caitlyn. Okay. So Insidious: The Last Key at number 2, pulling $29 million for its first week with a budget of $10 million. That's the quality you people are paying for.
I know.
A $10 million movie.
It's already made back its money.
And I've heard it was fucking garbage. Like all the other Insidious films.
What's the...
I swear to God.
Aren't the Insidious movies the good ones, and the ones with the psychic couple the garbage ones?
That is Insidious, isn't it? No, that's The Conjuring.
No.
That's The Conjuring.
Conjuring ones are the garbage ones.
I've
the
heard-
Insidious ones are supposed to be
I've heard
good.
that all the Insidious ones were garbage as well.
Kind of like your.
I've seen
fucking
like the
face.
first one, and I didn't like it. I don't
Your
know. I'm not a
face is
fan of
good.
like. It's
little bit
it's like supernatural, but it overly tries to explain what's going on, and it's just like I don't care. Like just keep it scary, and it wasn't even that scary. I don't know. Then again, it was in boot camp, and we were watching it on like a fucking 24-inch CC or CR. What was the cathode ray tubes TVs? We're watching on like a with like
nobody ever called them a cathode ray tube. You know
Whatever.
that, right? No.
those
never did that.
TVs,
They
right?
called them
24-inch fat ass monster TV and like 80 dudes surrounding it, and we were watching the first what's it called, Insidious. I didn't like it, but
It's kind of bad.
yeah, I heard it was it, and I don't know. I've heard that this one's not that good either. At number 3, we have Star Wars: The Last Jedi, still pulling some decent revenue, sitting at $23 million. It is sitting at $572 million in its 4th week, which is absolutely fucking insane. At number 4, we have The Greatest Showman, pulled almost $14 million for this week, sitting at $75 million with a budget of $84 million on its 3rd week. And at number 5, we have Pitch Perfect 3 coming in with $10 million, sitting at a total of $85 million with a budget of $45 million on its 3rd week. So those are the top 5.
Dude, The Greatest Showman hasn't even made its budget back yet.
Well, yeah,
I'm
it's in its
triggered.
3rd week. I'm sure it's going to make its budget, but that doesn't necessarily mean a movie was successful. Usually they have to be around double their budget
Yeah,
to pull
I'm
profit.
triggered.
Because you also have like, but I'm sure because this is domestic, so we don't know about worldwide sales, and also once it comes to DVD too. So this is only a kind of a gauge of how successful it's doing. One interesting thing, when we were in AMC, because we went to the new AMC theater by the mall by us, I built a nice new one. They had, it was all right. They have a fantasy movie league that they do, where you can like, it's like fantasy football, but it's with movies, and you kind of like guess what movies are going to do very well, and you can make money doing it and stuff like that. Like how they do with fantasy football. It's really fantasy football, but replace the characters and teams with movies, basically, which is really interesting. I mean, that probably seemed like it would be easier than football to guess, because you like, oh, hey, new Star Wars is coming out. This is obviously going to make a fuckload of money. So you could just drop a bunch of money.
Players. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this player has done really good in the past.
Yeah, but there's always room for upsets in football.
So for this.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever see like a Star Wars movie fail though.
Well, I mean, this one's not doing so hot.
What do you mean not doing so hot? It's sitting at
Critically,
600.
It's not doing so hot.
Oh well, yeah,
But
but it's,
otherwise,
that doesn't mean critically, but that doesn't mean shit. It's made $600 million.
Fuck.
I think Disney gives a hoot, well, I just said a hoot. I think Disney gives a fuck who likes the movie or doesn't.
Yeah,
If they're
no.
making
Did you
their
know
money,
that-
they don't care.
Did you know that,
Disney's not about quality. Haven't you figured that out by now?
Triggered.
They rate Star Wars. They do not give a shit.
What were you gonna say, Cam?
Did
Something?
someone's buying, did you know that, who was it again? Someone's trying to buy Netflix.
Who is that trying to buy Netflix?
I forget.
Trying to
Apple.
buy
Apple's trying to buy Netflix
Interesting.
for like $218
Who-
billion dollars.
Who owns Netflix right now? Netflix is they own
right.
themselves, right?
I think it's
Let's
I
find
think it's
out. We have a
Google.
computer right in front of us.
Google.
Who owns Netflix?
I think
Netflix is
Netflix owns Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to buy it for like $200 billion.
Damn.
I can't even think that. high.
$200 billion. That's a lot of money.
That's a fuck ton of money.
That is crazy.
But can you imagine how much money Netflix makes?
Oh yeah, I can't even. How much is it for a month? Like $11 for the standard package?
That's a step above the standard.
What's the standard? It's like $8
or $9.
or $9. Yeah, and they said that it was like something like
Like 80
it was
or
like-
70%.
Yeah, it was like 70 to 80% of all households in the United States have at least one user that uses Netflix.
That's fucking insane.
That's insane. I'm sick.
No one cares. That's right.
So that was okay. So let's talk about Greatest Showman. We went to go see it today. What did you think about it, Kim?
Well,
As soon as she goes to apply lip balm.
Zendaya was in that movie, which kind of triggered me.
Okay, so you don't like
Hate
Zendaya. And why is this?
She's just an idiot.
She's an
She's
idiot.
like a blabbering idiot.
Oh, you don't like her political views?
Yeah, she's like a huge ass feminist.
Oh,
And she's like not the good
not the good kind.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
She's like an annoying feminist.
He's like, that's unfortunate. Yeah. I just don't like her. I don't know.
Okay.
She's been in all these movies, and I don't even know how. She's not like that good of an actress.
She's pretty. I mean, that
She's
will get
pretty,
you far in
yeah.
life.
But she's not like when she was in Spider-Man. I thought she was terrible in Spider-Man.
I didn't think she was horrible. In
She was
Spider-Man.
she was better in The Greatest Showman. But
yeah, much
she
better
was
in Greatest
terrible
Showman.
in Spider-Man.
She was more like just there to, as like a
name.
comedic relief.
I don't know. I just don't like the movie she's been
It wasn't
in.
even that funny.
I don't like her roles that she's been in.
Okay, I thought she was good in this movie though. Greatest Showman.
But oh my god, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, Hugh
my
Jackman
God.
did such
He is
a
my
good job.
favorite actor.
He's so awesome.
He can sing. He can dance. He can do everything. He can be Wolverine, and then he
sweet
can be like
romance.
this guy.
Yeah,
What do you say?
he can make sweet romance. 'Cause remember, he was in Les Miserables too.
Yeah, and
Hugh Jackman.
he was outstanding.
really
in
good
that
at Les
Was he
movie.
in
Miserables.
Australia also?
Yeah, he was in Australia as well. He's got a
He's
decent voice.
He's outstanding.
And
I
he
love
he
him.
played this role very well. I
He
loved
was
him.
that role.
And the writing for his character was very well done too. Like a lot of his like quirks or one-liners that he said were really just well done. Like this dude was a charismatic motherfucker. Who was this about? The story of
P.T.
someone Barnum.
Barnum.
He,
P.T.
like,
Barnum.
P.T. Barnum, and he like started the like circus
Yeah.
business kind of basically. And for the most part, they said I've heard that it like glosses over some of the smaller things, but it stays true. I mean, again, it's a musical, and it's like about someone's life, so they can only go so far with it and still keep it interesting. But it was overall very good. The music was fantastic. I didn't expect it to be poppy, which was interesting. It had like a poppy sound to it. I almost had got like a Fallout vibe from the initial opening because of who's the main singer of Fallout Boy? What's his name?
I have no idea.
Again, we'll get back to Google. The main singer of Fallout Boy kind of wears that carnival attire, almost. They're not a rock band. Get out of here. Fallout Boy's a rock band.
Why didn't you just put lead singer Kyle?
I don't know
Why
why
are
I
you making yourself
didn't.
work harder?
Which one was the one that sent a picture of his ween to a 14-year-old girl?
In a band?
Oh,
Fall Out Boy.
Patrick Stump.
What a dumb
Wasn't
name.
still.
Send a picture of his wiener to a 14-year-old?
Yeah, it was
I
Huh.
think that was him.
it's Norm Went or something, or
Okay.
Pete Went.
Pete Went.
I don't know
Isn't
who
there a politician that's last name is Wiener?
Yeah, the guy who kept sending.
Pictures
he
of his
also
wiener,
sent
right?
pictures of his dick
Yeah,
all
he
over the
lived up
place.
to his name. That's awesome. He left a legacy.
The thing is, if you've seen the guy, what girl is going to be like, oh my god, that's so hot, I want that in me?
No, it's all power, man. All I see is power at that point. You're not seeing it's Antony Weiner. You're not seeing Antony Weiner for the looks.
What?
That's his name, Antony Weiner.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Antony. I'm like,
Oh, not Antony Weiner. Yeah, his last name
Oh
is
my
Weiner.
god.
I was like,
His name's
what?
Anthony Weiner. You're like talking to. Holy shit! I hope Anthony listens to this.
It's because I said every time I said the word Anthony, I say Antony because that's Anthony's name.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an H in his name, so I definitely called him Anthony Weiner, didn't I?
Yeah, I
It's
was
Anthony
like,
Weiner.
what the fuck is he saying? I was so confused.
Antony sent me pictures of his wiener before.
Oh, okay.
I could confirm.
I don't need to know that. Not
So, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so Greatest Showman. I definitely think Hugh Jackman played a fantastic role here. I think again he was
made that movie.
It was
If he
really
wasn't in
good.
that movie, it wouldn't have been as good.
I liked the story. Wasn't anything special. It was quite predictable for the most part. Like I saw, like you could just kind of tell, like, oh, this is probably going to happen at one point, and it will probably all resolve itself at one point. Definitely a good movie to take kids to if you have kids and you want to go see a film. The music again was fantastic. I love the music. I'm definitely going to pick up the soundtrack at one point. It's on like Google Play, and I loved
You can
almost
always
every
get it on
song that they
DVD.
sang. It was really good. So I was really a big fan of the music. Again, it was poppy. I
It
didn't.
was. I thought it was really strange for like the time.
Yeah, I
period they were
didn't
in.
expect that type of music. I don't know. It was weird.
Was it Baz Luhrmann?
I don't know what that is.
I don't think
Baz
the
Luhrmann did
composer.
Romeo and Juliet. He
No.
did Moulin Rouge. He
No,
did
it was-
Australia.
It was by like two gentlemen. I have it. I have to look it up again on. Here we go. I have it open on my phone. It was by. Never mind. I thought it did, but it closed it. Let me look up this.
It was just like for the time period, it felt really out of. Sorry, it felt really out of place.
It was by
Well, you must have hated Moulin Rouge.
original songs
Never
by
seen
Benj
it.
Pasek and Justin Paul. So all the songs were original, but they were done by those two gentlemen. So they didn't really have
But
like
who directed it?
who directed the
Face.
film. It was like Michael something, right? Let me again.
It was
this
Your
is
Face.
the third Google lookup we've had.
I love it when you talk about my face.
Nice. The Greatest Showman, director. There we go. It was directed by Michael Gracie.
Who the fuck is that?
He's an Australian director and visual effects artist. So that's pretty cool. While people also searched for P.T. Barnum, Hugh Jackman. That's funny. Rebecca Ferguson.
He's only done The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that's the only movie he's done. That's interesting. So this was his first film. Again, the story itself was nothing special. Nothing out of the way that was too awesome. Be careful about opening websites because they might have videos in them.
I'll be like, yeah, and then I'll exit out of it.
Yeah. It was funny seeing Zac Efron because I didn't see him in any.
Oh my
I didn't see Zac Efron in any of the trailers, so I wasn't.
He directed Naruto.
Apparently, Michael Gracie has directed Naruto.
Fuck
They're
yeah.
making a live action
I heard
Naruto movie,
Yuki Naruto.
Oh shit.
dude. I think they're making a live action Naruto movie. The village
I'm more
hidden in
interested
the
in the FMA movie.
The village hidden in the leaves is home to the stealthiest ninja in the land, but 12 years earlier, a fearsome nine-tailed fox terrorized the village before it was subdued and its spirit sealed within the body of baby boy Naruto. What the fuck? Ralph Cott. Is that Naruto? Who's Ralph Cott?
An actor.
He's going to be Orochimaru. They're making a Naruto live action?
Anyway.
What the fuck? He was in American
I
Werewolf in
need you
London.
to change your underwear, Cal. Calm down.
This is going to be so shitty. Well, I wonder when this is set to come out.
The FMA movie looks good. Then again, the Titan movies. Well, the Titans looked awesome in Attack on Titan.
Oh,
It's just
yeah,
the movies
dude.
themselves.
We're garbage.
You know, if I had walked in expecting a rewrite of the story, I
Might have went a
even
bit
then
better.
it was still a bad story. I don't know, man. The story was.
Yeah, they
I
definitely
guess
took a lot of
if I
liberties.
had known it wasn't Attack on Titan, if I had known it was Attack on Titan parallel dimension or something, if I had
Yeah.
been ready for that, I might not have absolutely fucking hated every minute of it.
Oh. Excuse me.
I might not have, but I mean, the special effects were nice, but even as a parallel story, it barely hits okay for me. Man, that was hard to sit through.
That's
That
interesting.
was bad enough that I didn't go back and watch the Parasite movies.
I can't
'cause
imagine like sitting with you in the movie theater.
Oh, sitting with Shawn in the movies. I want again.
I'm
We
sitting
might
there, I'm
we
like,
might have
I'm like,
that
he's so
opportunity.
fine, and then Sean's like, God,
God, hate this movie. Like you're just sitting there, and Sean's like shoving popcorn down in his face. Like, God, I fucking hate this movie.
they're like rage eating. You turn to your left, and there's like this black miasma around me. Just,
Yeah, straight up.
That's so bad.
It's like I sense malice. Oh man.
Where's this hatred? I sense the dark side?
Yeah, it's coming out. What are you doing? She's got the lint roller again. Someone help me. I'm being held
I need a
captive.
fidget spinner.
You do need a fidget spinner. That'd probably help you out, or like the fidget cube or something.
Fidget cubes work. Fidget spinners are for douche-tards.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
sorry. I'll get a fidget cube.
So
I have 3.
again,
Hey,
so
can I have
story
one?
story predictable. The music was fantastic. I thought a lot of the choreography was very well done too. Like they had one scene where it was like a dance. It was a musical, so it was a music number. But they were dancing and they were using trapeze ropes to dance, and it was just really well done. Like I
You
was
know
sitting.
why?
Why?
Because I did it.
Oh, you did it? Man, Caitlyn,
Oh,
why didn't you tell
girl.
me?
Did you see
Up
my
with
name in the
that.
credits?
No, I did not. I
Yeah.
did not see your name in the credits, Cal.
It was in the credits. You
That's
should've
that's
looked
really
closer.
cool. That's really cool.
I want to put it on my resume.
Still working at Chick-fil-A though.
Yep, that's for sure.
That's me. You
As you
know,
were saying.
working at Chick-fil-A. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. But yeah, I'm super excited to pick up the soundtrack. I'll definitely be listening to that for a while. Caitlyn, I swear to God, put the lint roller down, please.
No, I can't. It's so sticky.
We're losing her.
Oh, that's my clothes in the dryer.
I thought Hugh Jackman was fantastic. I thought Zac Efron was pretty
you
good
lost
too.
your phone in the dryer?
No, she has to put her clothes in the dryer. I thought.
At first, I was like, "What the fuck is Zac Efron doing here?"
I didn't see him in any of the trailers.
Yeah, but then as it kept going, I was like, "Oh,
I like Zac Efron, and it felt like High School Musical 4.
He's fine." Did you know that he's 30 years old?
Yeah, Zac Efron's in his 30s now, and it's weird because him and Zendaya were like the ship.
Zendaya!
Stop screaming. they were the ship.
Which was really strange because they're 9 years apart.
Yeah, Zendaya's 20.
Zendaya, come on.
Whatever.
Fucker.
She's 21 years old, and Zac Efron's 30, so that's kind of weird. But now she could check off her bucket list that she's kissed Zac Efron. I've yet to complete that action.
How is that weird? Where does weird come into that? Exactly?
I don't know, because
it was just strange. Like Zac Efron with Zendaya.
Because I've known him, I've seen like Zendaya, like
Zendaya,
whatever her name is. I've seen her like grow into this. I haven't followed her or anything, but you kind of seen her grow, at least with our age. But we knew like Zac Efron was like already old when we were young, and now he's just older. But Zendaya grew up.
Zendaya, say it right.
What is it, Zendaya? Zendaya like grew up with us. But like Zac Efron was in our childhoods. That's the only thing that feels weird.
He was older.
Like I don't give a shit how old they are as long as it's a legal thing going on. I'm fine with it. It's just the weird part is that we grew up with Zac Efron already being old, and now he's just older. Where Zendaya grew up with us, kinda. I don't know. It's just, that's the only thing that makes it weird. I have nothing against like anything of that age limit or age range happening.
I didn't imagine. I don't know, like Zendaya, she was like in shitty TV shows.
Yeah, she's on Disney Channel,
Zac Efron started.
How the fuck did she get into movies?
I have no clue.
I guess you could technically argue that Zac Efron started on shitty movies on Disney Channel.
Yeah, he did. He started in movies, but she started in TV, and I think
there's not a huge difference between TV and movie, at least today.
It's just a really odd ship because they're like in complete. Like Zac Efron was in that beach movie.
Baywatch.
He was in Baywatch, and Zendaya was in like fucking Spider-Man. It's just strange.
I guess it is kind of weird. Like these Disney stars kind of getting like actual roles. What? Are you cold? Ooh.
Oh.
Hold on, real quick. This is a bit of a side thing, but you know how like the dialogue in Final Fantasy tends to be fun, or like archaically written, but it's rarely deep.
Yeah.
I can't read the first bubble to you because I passed it, but I'm reading this one bubble right now where this guy's he's a former warrior, and he says, 3 friends there were and only me left, and I can smell another war brewing. Only this time, nothing is new and all the fear is old. Sometimes I think I've lived far too long, and all of a sudden I'm like, when did they get a writer? Like out of nowhere. 2 paragraphs that could have been in an actual legit book or a serious game. Everything else tends to be whimsical or silly or just fantastic and good. I mean, written well enough. And then this guy just brings it all up too high.
Now go fetch 3 eggs for me and bring them back.
Yeah.
So let's get on to a review so we can move on to the news and our main topic, which I still don't know what we were going to talk about. I don't remember.
Hopes for the year, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Hopes for the year. Okay, that's our main topic. Cool.
Just figured it out.
You think we'd you think we'd learn, but we don't. But hey, that's part of the fun.
Learning's for losers.
So reviews, Caitlyn. What do you think out of 10? Actually, we'll stick to... Isn't the normal like out of 5? They get out of 5 stars?
It depends.
We'll stick with the 5 because we've been all over the place. But we'll stick with 5. But you could do a half a point if you want to. So we'll make it like a 10, but we'll be using 5. So Ken, what do you want to give The Greatest Showman?
Just make it 10.
Are you testing me here, Shawn?
I'm just saying,
testing my authority.
You could do like a point. Like, well, then just make it 10.
Listen here. All right, we'll make it 10. All right, so out of 10, Ken, what do you give this film? It's got to be
Well,
catchy
since
too.
Zendaya was in it, it's minus like 20.
Oh, minus 20 for Zendaya.
Well, actually, Hugh Jackman saved it.
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
I'd give it like a 7.
A 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
7 out of 10 what? Without spoiling anything.
What do you mean what?
7 out of 10 what? 7 out of 10...
Very nice hats.
Oh, there you go. 7 very nice hats out of 10. I like it. Again, I like the film. Story was very predictable. But then again, I don't go into musicals expecting a lot in the terms of story. I know some of them obviously are much better, such as like Les Miserables and stuff like that, especially ones that originate from plays or operas. Those usually do a lot better in the terms of writing. But I think the characters were all very fun. They all had their own quirky moments. They all interacted very well with each other. Again, Hugh Jackman was fantastic as Barnum. The music was awesome. The choreography and all the dancing and a lot of the scenes was very good. For some reason, I don't know if this was on purpose, but some of the CG felt off. I don't know if this was someone did this on purpose to make it look unique, or if they just had a shitty CG artist. But you felt that too, right, Caitlyn? Some of the CG felt weird.
Yeah, really strange.
Like there's like a weird effect to the CG. I can't really explain it. I don't necessarily consider that a knock because it never pulled me out of the film. And for the most part, besides the story being predictable, it was just a very fun and enjoyable movie. You can take your kids. It has a very positive message about no matter who you look like, we're all equal, stuff like that. So definitely a very good kids movie if you want to bring someone to something like that. Again, music was fantastic. All the actors did amazing in their positions. I didn't really have an issue with anyone. And besides the CG and the story, which are very small quips, it was very good. So I give it, I've got to think of something. I give it 8 fantastic shots of Hugh Jackman's ass out of 10. There was 2 to 3. I remember seeing him.
I didn't see them.
You didn't see him?
Fuck. Gotta see it again now.
Gotta go watch it a second time to see Hugh Jackman's ass. There was like 1 to 2 shots. I never pointed them out because they're very small. But I was looking. You better bet I was looking. So like it wasn't bare ass, obviously. It was just like him wearing
There were a lot of ass shots though.
Yeah.
I was
like butt shots.
Zendaya has.
Zendaya was always, besides like a couple of scenes, she was always like wearing that weird like scantily clothed thing, but she's got no boobs, so she looks like a kid. It's really weird.
I know, right?
It's so weird. I don't know, man. Again, fantastic movie. Definitely something you could go watch with family and kids if you have any kids and you're looking for something to go out and do together. Awesome. Enjoyed it a lot. I hope it does well. I hope it at least makes some money in the box office, and I have a feeling it will. Maybe some word will get around. I don't know. We definitely both enjoyed it quite a bit. So that was that. And what does that come to? An 8 and a 7? That's
7.5.
A 7.5?
Yep.
You sure?
Yes.
What
7
is 8?
plus
What is
8
what
is 15 divided by 2.
15 out of 20.
7.5. Well, I know math sometimes.
Damn, look at you. Just sit me down.
Bitch.
So. Bitch. All right, so that was that. I guess that'll be our review corner. Again, definitely, if you want to go see something with your family, I highly recommend it. So we're going to move on to our What to Look For segment. As we move into 2018, ladies and gentlemen, we got more games to look forward to. We always got something to look forward to, and this one's pretty cool. We have Fury, which is a kind of boss battle rush mode kind of game. Very fun. It's coming to the Switch on January the 11th. So that's going to be something you guys have to look forward to. What day is that? That's a Monday, Tuesday. It's like a Thursday or Friday, right? Something like that.
Friday.
That definitely sounds like a super fun game to bring on the Switch and take on the go. It ran like ass on the PlayStation, so hopefully it runs good on the Switch. I hope it does. It's at least a bit more well optimized. But definitely a fun game to take on the go the soundtrack in that game's fucking awesome. If you like electronic / like a vaporwave style music, that's where it is. The Fury soundtrack is so good. So I highly recommend that game. It's super fun. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. I tried to finish it and platinum it, but it had some hard trophies in it. And I just didn't give a shit back then. So we're going to move on to our news segment. Talk a little bit about what has happened the past week in video gaming. Last week there wasn't much going on news, but we got a couple things to talk about this week. So no, our first article, again, coming from GameSpot, as always. We love them over there. They provide us most of our news usually. We have a PUBG-style Battlegrounds game is coming to the hero shooter Paladins. So it says, will Paladins tempt you away from PUBG? Probably not. This is by Oscar Deus of GameSpot. And this is, Paladins is a free-to-play shooter that has previously been compared to Overwatch, is landing a PUBG-like Battle Royale mode. This new mode is simply called Battlegrounds, and it's coming to Paladins at some point in 2018. Battlegrounds will spawn 100 players into a massive map that developer Hi-Rez says is over 300 times the size of a typical Paladin siege map. Success in Battlegrounds will involve exploring the territory and looting its outposts for gear. Where Battlegrounds differs from PUBG, however, is that players are put into squads and must work together to be the last team standing. Check out a trailer. How's that different? I thought you do that in PUBG. Pretty sure you do that in PUBG. But, I mean, with Paladins being a hero shooter, you obviously have different classes. So I wonder how they'll do that when it comes to, like, getting into a fight. Like, how would they balance that? Like, if you have a tank going against a DPS. Paladins is not the first game to add a free battle royale mode. Warface added a similar mode in November, while Fortnite added a free standalone PUBG-style mode in September. PUBG's developer, PUBG Corp, took issue with Fortnite's version, saying, we are concerned that Fortnite may be replicating the experience for which PUBG is known. Which I do agree with. Fortnite took a lot of elements, and it looks a lot like fucking PUBG. From the way the compass is to the way all the HUD is displayed, although it does have a lot to differentiate itself with its building and mechanics like that, and its cartoony style. I'm not directly saying that they copied them. It's just they have some elements that make it look like they ripped the HUD straight from PUBG, which is interesting. I have no favor for either of them. They're both differ. They both differ in their own ways. It's no surprise that the developers have tried to emulate PUBG's formula. The game has been widely successful, recently passing 3 million concurrent users on Steam alone. That means 3 million people log in at least once a day to play their game. And they've sold like 12 million copies just on PC alone? That is fucking insane. The milestone came after finally reaching its full 1.0 release on PC. PUBG also launched on Xbox One in December, albeit still in early access. It was a quick hit there, selling 1 million copies in the first 48 hours. The game has now sold over 30 million copies. Holy shit, I wasn't even close. I thought it was 12. It sold 30 million copies across both PC and Xbox One.
Ooh.
Nice. So that is crazy. And again, I think we're going to continue to see this as long as PUBG is popular. There's going to be a bunch of different companies jumping on the bandwagon trying to kind of bank off of this style of gaming because it's so big right now. So we'll definitely see more to come from that in the future.
Well, cloning's been a part of gaming as long as gaming's been around, starting with Pong.
Yeah.
So for the PUBG I mean, I guess now that you can put so many distinctive elements into a game, people are a little bit more protective. I mean, they were protective back then, but the lawsuits were hard to stick. It's like trying to patent a scent almost.
Yeah. And we know all...
it's very difficult because if they're not using the exact same code, you can't do shit. Doesn't matter how similar the game looks. If you're changing your names and you're not using the same code, then you didn't technically steal their game.
Yeah. And
most of the companies have enough weight that they can apply pressure, and if somebody's releasing something that they don't want out there, they can squash it.
Yeah, definitely.
But the PUBG guys are a smaller team.
Yeah, we also know that, of course, no media is made in a vacuum. So a lot of the time, you'll see it everywhere. A lot of things pull inspiration from other things. So it's not something new to any form of media. And it's just when you look at like Fortnite, you can see a lot of the elements in the HUD at the very least are reminiscent of what PUBG provides in that HUD. And I think that's where their anger, because they're trying to emulate the experience that PUBG provides. Because they can't say shit if they had the same game style. There's nothing telling them that PUBG can have the only thing like that, because even they pulled it from, I think H1Z1 was the first ones to make it like vastly popular, and then PUBG came out as a better experience and people moved on to that. And then now we're either PUBG is going to solidify that role, or we're going to get another experience that will be better than PUBG. We don't know. Some people think it's Fortnite. Some people think PUBG is still better. But so definitely interesting stuff. So let's move on to the next article. we have the final Monster Hunter World beta has been announced with new content. And it's also only PS4 again. So, this is Chris Pereira of GameSpot. We have those eager to get their hands on Monster Hunter World will be able to sample it once again as part of the final beta test for the upcoming game. Unlike the second beta that ran in December, this one will introduce some new content, but it will unfortunately once again be limited to PS4. Sorry, Xbox and PC. Capcom announced the third and final beta test today, which will run just days before the game's final release. The PS4 beta begins 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on January 18th, or 2 a.m. GMT on January 19th. It concludes on January 21st or 22nd at the same time. Monster Hunter World's first beta was conducted in early December, exclusively for PlayStation Plus members on PS4. A second beta followed later in the month for all PS4 owners, consisting of some of the same 2 areas and 3 monsters to hunt, the Great Jagras, Anjanath, and Baroth. All of that will be present in this final beta, but you also get to square off against the world's flagship monster, the Nergigante, something like that. The Nergigante is an elder dragon and the monster featured on the world's box art. The full game also sees the return of several other elder dragons, as well as the introduction of some new ones, which are showcased in the new trailer that recently came out as well. You guys can look that up online. So, Monster Hunter World comes out the 26th. This beta again will be on the 18th, and if you're, we'll just make it GMT 2 a.m. because that applies to everyone in the world. You just find the conversion from there, and definitely super exciting. I'm excited to see the Nergigante. From what I saw from the trailer, he looks really cool, super badass looking monster, and I'd love to take that on with you guys. Anyone in the community, if you do play on PS4, you want to hit us up. Again, all of our PlayStation Plus tags are in the description below, on podcasting services and on YouTube. We'd love to have a couple of game nights. I know last time we played with, again, Funny Guy, and I played with some of his friends. We did hunt we hunted the Anjanath, the giant furry T-Rex. We hunted them together, so that was really fun, and I love Monster Hunter. I'm all over that. I'm going to be all over that game when it comes out on the 26th, and I'm super fucking excited for it to come out. So definitely.
Does our audience know about that giant fuck up you made when we were playing the demo, or shall I tell them the story?
You can share it again. I think we might have talked about it once, but I'm free to be embarrassed again. So go ahead and
so
let them know.
Kyle, who's the only one out of our circle of friends who has played Monster Hunter, who knows everything about Monster Hunter, was giving us nonstop orders.
I never claimed I knew everything. I've played the games before.
No. Listen to the smarmy attitude in his voice. He fucking claimed it. So we're running everywhere trying to fight the red dragon in the third world, the most advanced enemy in the demo. There's 2 hard enemies, the white one in the desert and the red one on the tropical island. The heads up keeps taking us back to this fucked up T-Rex looking thing. And everybody's like, I don't know why it keeps bringing us back. It keeps taking me to the T-Rex. Like, I pick up the footprints, I go to the T-Rex. I can't find it. We're all getting lost. We all keep dying because we're trying to fight the flying dragon, which is supposed to be the end game of the demo.
Excuse me, sir. It's called a Rathalos.
Running into the dragon until finally I get pissed off and I go online and I look up the third quest, and the T-Rex is the third quest. 3 hours of trying to kill a red dragon, people rage quitting, throwing controllers.
That bitch was hard.
Absolute bullshit. And then come to find out, the game was telling us to go fucking do this shit anyway.
Yeah, that Rathalos is difficult, and also they didn't give you shit for time. I wonder how the time limit will come into play when we go against the Nergigante. I'm super excited to fight him, and I'd love to join you guys to take his ass down. But I wonder if we'll get like a 45-minute timer like you normally do, or if we'll be still stuck with the 20-minute timer. And I wonder if that will be placed on a new map. And in my defense, in all the Monster Hunters that I've played, which are older ones like Freedom for the PSP, and the Ultimate 3 for the Wii U, and Ultimate 4 for the DS, they didn't have this tracking system that we have now, like with the flies and stuff. So I have no previous experience with that tracking system, so I didn't know how it worked. And in my defense, just saying. So again, I did tell you guys, hey, I also just like the Rathalos. I did want to fight him, and I didn't know that it would be that difficult. But I have not had any prior experience with these like scout fly things that exist now, and I don't know how long they've been in because I haven't played Generations or anything like that. So, but super excited to get back into that. I need to get a capture card. I'd like to record us playing that.
I'm cold.
But but right now
I'm
funds are
cold.
low because I'm not getting shit for hours at work. So, but besides that, super excited for that beta to pop back up on the 18th, and we will all jump back into it and get back into the that world. And I can anything that will keep me satiated for a couple more days until the full game comes out, I'm happy with. So let's move on to our next article. We have a couple more. We'll move on to our main topic. So we have the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 just got updated 12 years after its launch. This is by Oscar Davis of GameSpot. And this is EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2 may have launched towards the end of last year, but it hasn't stopped the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 from being improved. The classic game has just received a new update on PC over 12 years after its original launch. The patch is relatively minor, Disney says. It includes things like minor bug fixes and improved lobby functionality. Steam usernames should also now be displayed correctly in-game, while ping calculations will be more accurate going forward. You can check out the full patch notes via Disney at the bottom of the article, and we might talk about... I mean, I don't think it'll be too important, but Star Wars Battlefront 2 received a major update back in October when online multiplayer support was restored after it was switched off years ago. It also added crossplay support between GOG and Steam users. EA's newer Battlefront 2, meanwhile, recently received some free DLC centered around the latest Star Wars film, The Last Jedi, added 2 new maps and new hero characters, among other things. As for the blah, blah, blah.
Shirtless Kylo Ren.
Yeah, dude, imagine if you could play it. That'd be the new skin, shirtless Kylo Ren. Imagine running around in the game.
Board.
I'd do it.
I'd do it. So again, for the patch notes, again, minor bug fixes, optimized performance. Fucking Zim. I love him. I have to say that so I don't make Shawn sad.
I'm so cold.
Get a sweater or something. There's shit all over the place in here. So, next article. This one's pretty interesting, and I'm actually very excited for this one. You might be too, Caitlyn. Fallout 4's New Vegas mod. So, Fallout 4 there's a mod in the works that is remaking Fallout New Vegas in Fallout 4, the engine. There's an alpha video that was recently released. Much like Obsidian's Star Wars game Knights of the Old Republic 2, the developers entering the Fallout series, New Vegas, is particularly beloved by fans of the franchise. While there's been no... Oh, this is by Chris Perrier of GameSpot. New Vegas is particularly beloved by fans of the franchise. While there's been no indication Obsidian will get to take another swing at Fallout, a group of modders are working to bring New Vegas into the more modern confines of Fallout 4. To celebrate the new year, the team behind Fallout 4 New Vegas mod recently released a new video showcasing some of their work so far. As you can see below, we get a look at some perks from New Vegas as the player enters the perimeter of Good Springs and blah blah blah. So basically, a group of guys have gotten together and decided to put the map and the story and everything of New Vegas into Fallout 4's engine, which sounds super cool. I love New Vegas. New Vegas is one of my favorite Fallout games, and to see it like prettier and spruced up and then running in the Fallout 4 engine, I mean, not too many people are a fan of the way Fallout 4 does its leveling and stuff like that, but just to be able to revisit New Vegas in like an up-resed kind of thing sounds really appealing to me, and because the old Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas looks like fucking garbage. I'm not going to lie. They look like shit. And when they made New Vegas, they used the same engine for Fallout 3. And Fallout 3 came out, 2008? 2007? Something like that? Jesus, Caitlyn. Fallout 3 came out in 2008. That engine is fucking 10 years old almost at this point. And it does not hold up very well at all. So it'd be definitely interesting to see a remake of it. It's still an alpha, and it just looks really cool. And I'd love to step into that world with the Fallout 4 engine. So that's pretty cool. Final article before we move on to our main topic. We have Bayonetta, and the Bayonetta and Nier Automata dev Platinum Games discusses its new projects. This is by Oscar Davis of GameSpot.com. Platinum Games, the company behind action titles like Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and Nier Automata, has a number of projects in the works right now. We already know the company is making Bayonetta 3 for the Switch and co-developing Lost Order and Grand Blue Fantasy Project Link for mobile and PlayStation 4 respectively, but it seems there are even more projects on the way. I didn't know we were getting a Grand Blue Fantasy game. That's pretty fucking awesome. The company's head of development at Sushi Inaba told Game Informer that Platinum is in the initial stages of planning a further 2 projects. Quote, we've pretty much opened the company up to anybody can pitch a game, and so over the last year we've gotten about 70 design documents from different people, Inaba said. So 2017 was about us basically diluting which stuff we wanted to focus on and not focus on, and drilling down to the point where we now have 2 designs that we're genuinely focused on. He continued, we can't put together a AAA 10 million plus game because we don't have that sort of cash as an independent developer. However, we don't plan to go to the indies route with just a few people on a team making a game. So it'll be somewhere in the middle, looking at probably about 20 people on the staff making the game. So that'll still be a healthy size. Inaba also stated that Platinum is looking to self-publish more of its games going forward. Every one of its games so far have been published by other companies. Quote, one of the things Platinum is focused on is we're looking into creating our own IP, creating our own game, he said. Up until now, obviously, we've worked on original IPs for a wide variety of publishers. We've also worked on other Hollywood IPs for other publishers as well, but we're becoming more and more interested in the idea of self-publishing and doing our own title. However, Inaba says this doesn't mean the end of Platinum working with other companies' franchises. Quote, we'll continue to do AAA games for other publishers, and that's because, again, we don't have the cash flow to take on the risk to only do self-published games. So, super cool looking. I've become a huge fan of Platinum over the last couple years from the Bayonetta franchise, and now we have Nier, which, although the reasons it is really good are mostly because of Yoko Taro, but the things that bolster it as well is the fact that the gameplay is very solid and other things like that, and that's what Platinum's good at, is making solid hack and slash gameplay. So I'm definitely excited to see what they have coming forward, especially self-published IPs. It sounds super cool, and I'd love to see what they can come up with, especially since the games that they have worked on already, again, are just so... they're very well done. If you haven't played Bayonetta, if you haven't played Nier, I definitely recommend them. Super fun games, and even if you... Again, I talked about Nier last week, so I'm not going to talk about it, but we got Bayonetta 3 around the corner. If you have a Switch, it's a very good game to pick up. Bayonetta series is super fun, and again, don't go into it expecting anything massively, like, what's the word I'm trying to say here? Don't expect like this grandiose story, but the gameplay is always very solid. So that was our final article for the week. So we're going to move on to our main topic. This episode might not be too long. We're kind of running with a time struggle or a time constraint. So we'll still spend some decent time on the main topic, about half an hour, I think. And I think that'll be good. So we're going to talk about, now that we're in 2018, we're in January, we're getting ready for the new year and all these new games to come out. What do we want to see in 2018? What game would we like to see made this year that would make this year one of the best years in gaming? So, Caitlyn, do you want to go first, or would you rather go later? So, what do you want? So, say if a game were to come out and you had full directive control over it, what would you want to come out this year that would make this year one of the best years in gaming?
Another Fallout.
Okay, another Fallout?
Yep.
And how would you make this Fallout? Would you like to stick with the idea that Fallout 4 had with its gameplay, or would you like to go back to like the more RPG style Fallout 3?
Fallout 4 was like what?
Fallout 4 was Boston.
Boston.
Remember?
Maybe like one in
you
New
could
York?
like build up your own. You could build up your own. Like,
your own town.
The sanctuary and stuff like that. Preston.
I feel like that was pretty annoying, having like all that shit.
What'd you think about the engine though? Like the way you leveled up and you just pick perks instead of like actually. But remember like Fallout 3 where you actually like put points into stuff and that's determined how you would play the game.
I like the way they did it with perks and stuff.
Okay, you like the perks?
It felt like a immediate payoff. Once you leveled up. So I enjoyed. So like it gave a lot more meaning to leveling up because you got like something immediately.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
So I enjoyed the perk system. I like the story. I like the fact that you could like romance your fucking
Oh yeah.
What's
Yo,
the
I
name
was all
again?
over. What's her name?
Yeah, and I was all over Preston.
I remember like you had crazy up and downs with Preston because didn't he start to annoy you at one point?
Yes, he's like another settlement. Dude. So,
Oh,
like
everyone that was
and I'm
meme
like,
to shit when
I'm
Fallout
like,
came out.
Preston,
Leave me
stop.
alone, dude. Shit. No one cares if your settlements need help. I have 100 of them. Put it on the backlog. I gotta go farm Death Claws, BRB.
What was I saying? I like that they put
could
that
romance,
in there.
yeah.
It was so funny. I thought that was hilarious.
It was weird because like the romance was like it wasn't very like consequential. It was just like you laid in bed together, and you got a bonus.
You're like, woo.
It was kind of weird when you'd like wake up and the person would be like right next to you and like, what
Like-
the fuck did
like
you come?
staring at
they,
you?
they don't sleep. They don't sleep. They're just looking straight at you with their eyes wide
The
open.
whole time.
It's like, did you know you fart in your sleep? And you're like,
Thanks.
thanks for that.
So yeah,
So you're saying setting you'd like to see New York?
New York. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, post-apocalyptic New York.
Imagine all the shit you can salvage.
That would be
Like,
interesting.
in like New York.
It'd be cool if they also like, kind of like the the Division wasn't a very good game when it first came out, but
I don't even know what that is.
kind of like the Division where there's maybe more of a focus on the human element, although there is quite a focus on human in Fallout in general. But that'd be interesting in like an open world New York, and you kind of go wherever.
The story in Fallout was your son, right?
Yeah, your son was
And then
taken.
in Fallout 3 was your father.
Your father was trying to
And
make
then
a
in
like a
New
reputable.
Vegas, it
New
was the
Vegas,
guy that
you
shot
were a
you.
courier and you got shot in the head.
Yeah.
You're like a nobody. Yeah.
And then for a new one,
Yeah, what would you do in a new Fallout story, Wes? What if we do like a Fallout where it's before the bombs drop and you're trying to stop the bombs from dropping, and then the game ends with the bombs still going off and you're just standing there like and you fall to your knees as you
it
see
wouldn't
like
really
the
be a
mushroom cloud.
Fallout then.
Yeah, no, I know, but that'd be interesting. Or if it like cut in between. I always like the supernatural elements of Fallout games. Like in Fallout 3, the vaults.
How
It'd be
there
cool
were
if they
ghosts and stuff.
it'd be cool if maybe you were like, oh,
Like a
it'd be
horror
cool if they
Fallout.
like, well, not maybe not horror, but if they like really expanded upon the vaults. And I know you come from vaults in almost every Fallout.
Yeah, because that's
but-
always like a backstory. All the like the different stories of all the vaults.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you were like in one of those vaults that was like they use for like human experimentation or like social experimentation. That'd be fucking cool. I'd love to see something like that, and for them to like really delve out
into
like
it, yeah.
one of the vault stories, and you were like a part of that. And even if it started with the vault still being active, and because usually it's like the vaults here, if got fucked up, you gotta leave, go out
Right.
into the world. But it'd be cool if it started
You like
with
spent a lot of time in the vault.
yeah. I mean, in 3 you kind of did. You lived your whole life in 1. I forgot
Yeah,
about
but
that.
like that wasn't a big chunk of the game.
No, it wasn't. That would be interesting though. Or if like, I'm trying to think. I think it'd also be cool if maybe you could play a Fallout and you were like not exactly human, but you had like a choice to be one of the
Like,
other.
you were one of the synths.
Oh, that'd be cool if you were like, imagine like, yeah, you're playing Fallout 4 and you just wake up and you're like in a lab and you're a synth and then your whole objective. That'd be cool if they took multiple approaches where like when the game starts, it's like, here's where your beginning can be, right? So do you want to be a synth? You want to start out as a synth? You want to start out as a vault dweller? You want to start out as a raider? And then the story would branch based on what you picked. That'd be
yeah.
really fucking cool. I'd love to see something like that along those lines. I don't know. We might get a Fallout this year. I mean, the way Fallout 4 happened, it was like they fucking dropped the news like a month before it came out. So it's definitely possible that they could have a 5 in the works and we're getting it this year. And that'd be really cool.
When was the last time it came out? Like 3 years ago?
Fallout 4 came out in, again, we have a computer. That's what it's for. Fallout 4 came out in 2015. So 3 years ago. In November, 3 years. So maybe like, I know they have talks about a new a new Elder Scrolls coming out. That'd be pretty cool too. So you'd want to see a new Fallout. So we want to see Fallout 5 in New York.
Ooh, Fallout 5 confirmed to be developing.
Yeah, it's in progress. We probably won't see it for a couple of years, in all honesty.
Oh my god.
Fallout 4 has a 6 out of 10 on Steam. That's funny.
Fuck them.
Those are all the hardcore nerds that get mad at everything, right, Shawn? computer. PC mustard
I
race.
just fucked this.
Ha! What are you doing down
I
there?
don't know.
Making a bunch of noise. Just leave it.
I left it there.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Anything else? So we want New York. It'd be cool, like a Fallout, like in snow, kind of. Like in
I
a
just
colder
love anything
environment.
that Bethesda puts out.
Yeah,
So
a lot of Bethesda stuff is pretty
they
good.
did Skyrim.
Yeah, they did
Should
Skyrim.
try a Fallout in another country, like Fallout Paris or Fallout Moscow.
That would be really cool.
You just
That's
fucking
not the
think.
United
Fallout,
States.
Osaka.
Oh, a Japanese Fallout game. No, I want that, dude. That'd be cool
You're
as hell.
A weeb.
I'm a weeb.
You're such a...
Imagine like walking through.
No, I can't imagine.
Or what if it was a Fallout that's like set in like a parallel universe? So say like it's when the bombs drop on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and it's set there. Too soon. Was that? It was like in the. I don't know. I guess that could bring some controversy. Not racism. Controversy. Like it was funny. We were talking about Assassin's Creed. Me and Tyler. This is
Tyler and I.
a slight tangent here.
Thank you.
And I'm like, when's the Assassin's Creed when you get to play as Jesus and he's an assassin? That's what we need, man. Jesus running around as an assassin. He's like,
that's definitely
he's like, I don't think that
offend.
game will ever see the light of day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sadly, not in this
It's gonna offend too many
societal
I
climate.
don't think it's appropriate.
No, it isn't. But still, I still think that someone that's making something should have the right to make what they want. Because in the end,
I agree. I just don't think it's appropriate. I would like to not see them do something so low.
I don't know. I mean, because I think when it comes to like, it's like a person's choice to be offended. You could choose not to, and not many people realize that. Like, it's pretty simple for the most part. And again, that's not the same as just lying over and taking it, but there's like being, I don't know. Every time I see like someone,
I think it shows a great deal of lack of respect when you trample on certain things.
I mean, but
That's
that
why
doesn't
I choose
necessarily.
not to do it. So I'd prefer other people not to do it. But if they do it, that's not my life. That's their choice.
Yeah.
I just lose respect for them.
But who's to say
I don't
that
get offended. I don't believe in anyone has the right to be offended. I think that's bullshit. And your sensibilities mean absolutely nothing to me. Your feelings, yes, I care about you being hurt. I don't care, not you specifically, but just you.
Yeah,
in general.
no, I understand.
I don't care
Trust me.
anything about your sensibilities, and I will make whatever jokes or talk about whatever I want, and I expect other people to do the same. But on the same note, I carry the responsibility of what happens when I do it. If somebody loses respect for me, if they find me distasteful or unpleasant or ugly because of what I've said, I accept that. But people think that they can run around and step on other people's ideals and things that are important to them, and then there's no repercussions. There are, and if you damage your somebody's perception of you, they have the right to dislike you because of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They have a right to dislike you because of your behavior or something you've done. They're allowed to do that. And people sit there and say, oh, well, I told you to go fuck Christ. And now you're all like, oh, I'm a bad person and I don't want to, you don't want to associate with me. You're a fucking asshole. No, they have the right to fucking not talk to you.
Yeah.
That's fucking fair. You were the one that walked up and said, fuck Jesus or whatever. I'm just making sure, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you have a choice. And my choice is one that I would prefer to see more people do. And that is, don't fuck with religion. Fuck with other shit. Just leave people's beliefs alone and mess with something else. Leave people in peace. I don't like fucking with anyone's religion. I choose not to do that. That is something dearly important to people. Why would I fuck with it? It just seems horribly disrespectful to people in general when somebody makes the choice to do something like that. And it has nothing to do with my beliefs. I'm largely agnostic.
What did Sony
I don't know.
I'm not even, sometimes I feel Christianish and sometimes I don't. I'm not really sure. But I don't step on anyone's belief systems. Well, no, there's two, Scientology and Satanists. It's pretty much it. They're fucking ridiculous. But anyone else, you're fine. Scientology is a joke, and the guy admitted it before he died.
Scientology
So
is the real life version of pay to win. Exactly.
Yeah.
It is.
What's the guy's name?
It's
Anyway,
EA
that's
loot
my
boxes in
stance.
What's
real
the
life.
actor that's in
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is fucking
Fucker.
crazy.
He's so weird.
Tom Cruise is fucking crazy. He has to be. He
Why?
I don't know. He's just he just doesn't strike me as someone that's particularly sane. Not because he's a part of Scientology, just seeing him in general, he doesn't strike me as someone that's sane. I think he's fucking
He
crazy.
paid to win. Maybe he's already won. He's done.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, Tom Cruise. I don't know.
You think he uses his money for like
Okay,
murders? And
so we
shit?
have a Fallout 5 from Caitlyn set in New York with branching storylines based on where you start. I think that'd be a pretty cool game. I'd definitely play something like that. What do you got for us, Shawn? What do you want to see your dream game of 2018?
I don't have a specific dream game. I'd like to see a lot of games come back. I'd like to see them bring a lot of established properties back, but my main thing is I would like to see them look back at what players appreciated about gaming before the Activisions and the Ubisofts and the EAs trampled all over it,
Gooby
and bring that back. Look back at what made the best Super Nintendo and the hidden gem Super Nintendo sleeper hits great. What made the best PlayStation and PlayStation 2 and
Give me another
even
good
Xbox
Castlevania.
games great.
Please.
Yeah, Castlevania, Devil May Cry, Dark Cloud, there was so many good games that came out on those massive amounts. I mean, it's not the system. If you look at the PlayStation 2's library, there's so many amazingly good games that came out. There was this huge push of just innovation, and not necessarily how games are programmed or graphics, but just gameplay, innovations in gameplay. And I haven't seen games go beyond that. All I've seen them do is refine the formula a little bit and focus on one area. When Nier came out, it gave me hope that I would see that come back. Games with dynamic gameplay where you never knew what was going to come around the corner. The script writing was good. The entire focus was on immersion and telling a good story. I want to see them bring back those days. All right, I'm not one of those guys that looks back at yesteryear and I'm like, man, I wish those days were back. Hell no. I want to see those days beaten. I want to look back and go, yeah, those were good, but not nearly as good as now. And I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to do that for a while because of the way the video gaming culture has gone. I'm sure it's going to circle back a bit and change again, and it runs in cycles, just like all art mediums do. But I would like to see the video game, and it seems like guys like Platinum and shit like that are trying to do that. But I would like to see the video game industry look back at the PlayStation 2 era, the PlayStation 1 era, when there was a lot of innovation in gameplay. How people interacted with games, how they played the games, what happened in the games, the variety of things you were able to accomplish or experience in the games, the level of polish in the games, and the detail and how much fun was involved. Get back to making them fun. No loot boxes, none of that shit. A solid game. Give me a fucking 10 to 40 hour experience and I'm fucking set. And I will replay that game once every couple of years over and over and over again. Give me something that I can invest 60 or 70 bucks in and leave me alone. Give me a quality piece of work. Give me a Ghouls and Ghosts. Give me another Mega Man, a Castlevania, a Devil May Cry. Create a new property. Give me something that's dynamic, something that's fun. You realize I've had more fun playing Final Fantasy XIV than I have had playing any other game in the last several years. And that's just from running around and exploring and looking at things and running quests and laughing at jokes. And this game is very fun, but it's definitely not nearly as fun as 90% of what I played on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 and Super Nintendo and a little bit on the Saturn or the Dreamcast. That whole fucking like mid to late 90s era, I felt like they put more fun and passion into the games that they made than has come after. And I would like to see them look back at that as an example and improve on it. I want to see that again. I want to see something new for this stage, for this era, for this time in gaming. But I don't want them to look at what's happening right now in gaming. I don't want to take them any inspiration from that. I want you to look at back when things were much more solid and a lot better in gaming and then build on that fresh. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I would like to see. I would like to see a renaissance. a gaming renaissance.
Okay.
That's what I'd like to see in gaming. I don't have any specific games. A Resurrection of Castlevania would be nice. Bring it back to the original series. I'm definitely with that. Although I will say one thing. There was 2 games for Vampire the Masquerade. It was a tabletop gaming thing. They released them on computer. They were role-playing games that were really interesting. I would like to see them re-release those, with a new engine and carry on those series, because those were really interesting. Think of something along the lines of a heavily story-focused. Here we go. Think of something like Dragon Age, but with vampires.
Okay.
And set in like
Wait, I
either
think
modern
I've seen
times
this
or
game
past
before.
times, the real world.
Didn't
I've
Kraken
got
play
one
it?
of them. Huh?
Didn't Kraken play it? Vampire the Masquerade.
It
was like it's an RPG game, right?
It is an RPG. It's like a third person, but you walk around, you explore things,
Yeah.
pick stuff up.
I watched them play that game.
Things.
I've heard it's
If
got
you
a really
play one of the
big.
crazy vampires, you can get in an argument with a stop sign.
I've heard it's got like a really big cult following to it. I haven't played it personally.
Well, the second game was very buggy and suffered a lot. I played the first one, but I enjoyed them a lot. They were super fun, and I would like to see something like that come back, like a deep narrative, like just cinematic action, role-playing, fun adventure thing. That'd be cool. But I just most of the games that I have super fond memories of playing in the last few years is just because it's with my friends. It's not the game. When I think of the fun times we had in Destiny, it was the shit we were saying and doing while we were playing. It wasn't what we were playing.
Yeah, I feel
and
you.
that makes me sad.
Well,
That's a flaw in
you
Destiny.
also have yet to touch Persona 5 and Nier. So
this is absolutely true, and I know Nier is going to be satisfying. Well, as soon as I can find some way to get money, I'm going to buy Nier. Persona is going to be started probably in February from the looks of it.
Shin Megami 5 has got me hyped, man. I'm excited to have another big ass JRPG on the Switch, because I've been delving into Xenoblade recently, and I have like 40-something hours in that game, and I love that game. I mean, it runs kind of like poo-poo on the Switch, but just knowing that I have like a massive JRPG that I could play anywhere, just something about that's a really cool feeling. And I love anytime if we ever go somewhere for an expanded amount of time, I will be all over that Switch playing Xenoblade Chronicles, and just knowing that I have
a brand new fresh story, or is it linked to the previous 2 games?
The Xenoblade Chronicle games aren't like linked to each other. They're just set in the same universe, but they're not. Okay. Yeah, the stories are fresh, so it's super cool. I still gotta
get the one for Wii U.
Yeah, I've heard that one was really good too. Wait, is that the Chronicles X? I think I heard Chronicles X was not as good as. I heard the music in Chronicles X was fantastic.
The only problem with the original was the shitty controls.
Wasn't it on DS? I thought it was on DS.
Xenoblade Chronicles was on Wii. Xenoblade Chronicles X was on Wii U, and then the new one was on Switch.
I thought it was on maybe they brought it to the 3DS. I think that's what they did. They brought it to the 3DS.
That would be cool.
I think my biggest love when it comes to games is characters and story. And I think that's why I thought that Nier was so good. On top of the other things that Shawn stated, and I talked a lot about it last week, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But and I think that's what makes me remember games too. On top of the fact that enjoying stuff with your friends, I will always remember the days of Halo 3 playing custom games with all my friends on Xbox Live. Those are some of the most fun I've ever had, and I can't believe how much value we got out of that single game doing stupid shit that was made by the community.
And it was a great game.
Yeah, and on top of that, I have certain games that sit high above because of just the fidelity in their writing, storytelling, and characters. And say things like Last of Us. I thought The Last of Us, although the story itself wasn't anything new or special, the characters themselves and the way they interact and the performances of the characters were fantastic. I thought the story and idea of Hellblade was fantastic. And that game will sit with me. I don't know how long it will, but for a while, because of the fact that I remember the character. I remember the story. I remember the performance. And that's what resonates with me.
Hellblade took an old concept and again reworked it and made it something new.
Yeah, and the same thing goes with Nier. Those characters resonated with me. I truly cared for those characters, and I wanted to see what happened to them. And I felt like our conclusion, although it was a hard fought one, was definitely it was interesting the way they did it, and the design choices in that game, I think, amplified a lot of just the wow moments when they did come. And I want to see something like that. I want to see another Nier this year. That rhymes. I want something along those lines. Give me a game. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen necessarily, but hey, maybe this new God of War game is going to have one of the best written stories we've ever seen in gaming. You never know. And I love that. That's what keeps me coming back. One of the reasons I like the Uncharted series so much is the characters. Story's not necessarily anything super fantastic, but I love Nathan Drake as a person. I love what he turned into. I loved going through his life and his ups and downs, and I enjoy Nathan Drake as a character, and that's what's going to have me remember. That's how you create a flagship mascot too. Well, I mean, maybe today, but not necessarily back in the day. But I want another game that's going to wow me with a fantastically written story with awesome characters. That's what I'm looking forward to. And again, we don't know. We might see something like that. Maybe God of War will present that. I definitely don't think we're going to see it in Monster Hunter. I know Monster Hunter story's never been anything fantastic. Or even something Detroit Become Human. We got that coming.
I can't wait.
That might be a fantastically written story. And the idea behind that game is just interesting. And that might be something that might sit at my top, just based on the characters and what's present in the game. So I think that's my biggest when it comes to that. Now, for a certain game I want to see, I'm really fucking excited for Spider-Man. Like, I have a big boner for this Spider-Man game coming out. And I want it to be everything that Spider-Man 2 was and more. Like, I loved...
So the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, it was also on GameCube, I think. We had it on GameCube.
Yeah, that game was epic.
Yeah. And I want the freedom to roam around as Spider-Man. I want again, this is all stuff that we don't necessarily know. I want a well-written story. I want to see... Because we are dealing with Peter Parker here, right? It's Peter Parker for the most part? The Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah.
I think it is.
I think so.
I want to see Peter... I don't know if we'll get an origin story here. We don't know. I think it's Peter later in his life, if I remember correctly. And
it's
I'm just...
movie Peter, right?
No, I don't think it's movie Peter. This is.
Oh, you're talking about this. You're talking about the one that has Miles in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to see a well-written story. Like, I understand that in single-player games it's something people have come to expect, but it's not something you always receive. And I know, again, I don't want to shit on Last of Us, but I know a lot of people loved Last of Us for what it was, but I didn't think the story was anything special. I mean, it was just a zombie story, something we've seen 1,000 times. But I love the characters. I think the characters is what made that game so special to me, because they were so well written. Again, you could argue that they're like one and the same, but I do feel like again, it's not something we haven't seen before. I mean, it was heartwarming, and it was well done, which is a lot of points towards the developer or towards Naughty Dog as a whole. But I think they do a better job making awesome characters than they do making awesome stories. And
oh man, didn't Naughty Dog do Jack and Daxter?
They did, but then again, I don't remember.
Jack and Daxter,
I'd have to go back.
Trilogy had a great story.
I'd have to go back.
Last of Us' story. The level design and the drama that was in that, the writing was just fucking amazing.
I don't know. I thought that the creative choices in the game's direction were really good, and the game itself was 100% quality. It was really fun to play. It was really fun to stealth around. It was really fun to do stuff. And but I think that what kept me going was seeing the characters more than where they were going. Kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't really know how I want to say it. And I'm not shitting on The Last of Us, because I love that game, and I'm excited for the second one when it comes out. It's not. I felt like when I played The Last of Us, it wasn't something I hadn't seen before, kind of, and I didn't feel like it really revolutionized anything. Again, the game itself was super quality, and everything about it was awesome. But I want to see something like what Nier did to me this year, and I want to see it again. And I'd love to see it in a game that I
agree with that. It didn't do what Nier did, but I think it was.
I'd love to see something like that.
I can't find any flaws in Last of Us.
No, I mean,
I'll say that was probably my last memorable game.
yeah, I mean, my biggest issue is, again, it's just like, again, the story was quality, but I didn't feel like it was anything revolutionary. That's all it is. And again, that's like the smallest nitpick in the world, but it's just when I played through it, I didn't really care where we were going. I just it was more like the journey of seeing the characters interact. I cared more about the characters interacting than what was going on in the overall world. So yeah, I want to see something like that. I want to see another narrative masterpiece fall into our laps this year. I would love to see it done with an IP that's well known. Again, it'd be cool. Even some of the smaller things, like we have, we might see Project Octo, whatever, right? This year, isn't that this year? Let me see. Project, what was it called? Project Octopath Traveler. That's a Octopath Traveler. When does that game come out? That is, yeah, it's projected to 2018. That game was super awesome. The demo that I played with it, it was cool how they mixed the 3D environments and the 2D sprites. And the story from what I played through, the story from what I played through was really good for the most part. And I'd love that to be that type of game where we have a band of characters that are very well written, are placing a story that's very well done. And I'd love to see something like that just wow me and but pull me in. That's the fastest way I get immersed in a game. Is through those methods. So something like that can pull us for a sweep. We might get a fantastically written game in Octopath Traveler or something along those lines, and we just never know. Again, it's one of the awesome things is there's so much room for progress in some way or another. You could always have the underdog just come and sweep everything up from under the table, or you could have people that are really good still make money. So we never know what we might get this year, but I'm super excited for what we have coming down the line. We got Monster Hunter World, which has already got me, I'm tantalized. I'm so fucking excited for that game to come out. We have God of War, which looks so cool, the changes that they've made in that, hopefully for better and not for worse. We have Detroit Become Human. We have Spider-Man, all these games. We have Ni no Kuni coming out soon. Ni no Kuni can sweep us off our feet with a fantastic story. And then we have another example of a very good, well-written. Is Ni no Kuni? No, it's active. It's active battle. So we got a lot of awesome things to look forward to, and I'm as excited as any of you out there are for the things coming down the bend. And I'm just ready to experience this year of 2018 with all of you. And thanks for sticking with us if you still are sticking with us. We really do appreciate every single one of you for just coming along this journey with us. And any final remarks from the three of you? Anything else we have that we want to see maybe this year? No, nothing from you, Caitlyn?
Not really.
Shawn?
I just want to see the video game industry stop being an asshole.
That works. Video game industry stop being an asshole would be good.
First.
Yeah. That would definitely be more of a focus back onto the idea of presenting a quality product and not a service, and see how that goes. I'd like to see that focus kind of come back into at least because developers we can't say are really like that, but at least the publishers see more of instead of keeping people engrossed in this game as long as possible, more of giving them a quality product first and then moving forward from there. So I'd love to see more of a focus put on that. Looking at you, Destiny. Looking at you. We might see that in Anthem if Anthem comes out this year.
Anthem's garbage. Dude, Anthem's already set up to be garbage.
How is that?
It's set up to be worse, and I'll go over it with you later. It's a big thing. They've uncovered so much stuff on what's planned for Anthem and how
I know that they have it set up.
Service.
I know they have it set up to be a game of service thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it will be bad. It might be able to.
There's been a lot of facts that have been uncovered about the game that are not promising at all. I do not believe that BioWare is making a good game. I do not believe that Anthem is going to be anything like they've told us it's going to be. I am 100% positive that it's going to be, if not, I mean, I think it'll be prettier than Destiny, and I think the gameplay may be better than Destiny. but it's not going to be a better overall experience. I think we're going to be running into the same exact thing, and I, for one, will not be jumping on the Anthem bandwagon early. I will be waiting a long time before I fucking touch that game.
All right. Well, then we will see what will happen. I still have a little bit of faith in BioWare as a developer, and the only thing I've heard about the game is the fact that they will only have, they'll be like in-game purchases, but they'll all be cosmetic. And I think they'll have loot boxes, but they'll all be cosmetic. That's the only thing I've heard about the game. We'll see what happens.
There's a few gaming journalists that have uncovered a bunch of like industry details, copyrights, patent type stuff.
There's always room to surprise, so we'll definitely see what happens. But I understand the skepticism, especially with how burnt we've been on this type of gaming model when it comes to like the idea of a loot-based shooter that's as a game of service. So we'll see what happens. Definitely see what happens. But I do agree with you on the fact that I want to see a shift to more of just presenting a overall completed and quality product first, and then focusing on retaining the attention of gamers after, once you've presented them a baseline of good material, and then moving forward. So definitely excited to see what happens next coming this year. We have a lot to look forward to, and I hope you guys will stick with us as we continue to cover all of this interesting stuff as we move into 2018. So that will be, I think, it for episode 35 of the Thought Patrol podcast. Thank you both for joining me, Caitlyn and Shawn. And let's have some good old intro or outros for our lovely listeners. What do you got for them, Caitlyn?
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good week.
Aw, that was cute. All right, I have to look up a shitty fact. So give me your thing, Shawn.
Just ask Alexa.
This isn't the only
Sorry.
thing. Part.
Oh snap! Keeping it sexy. That's
Alexa,
the first. That's the first one of 2018,
give me
isn't
an
it? No,
interesting fact.
no, it isn't.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
God damn it, Alexa.
Stop it, Caleb.
Alexa,
Stop.
give me an interesting
Alexa,
fact.
you're a whore.
See,
Alexa.
she doesn't want to listen to you.
Tell Alexa she's a whore.
I will not.
Okay. So before we go, I shall leave you all with a thought. Male pandas do a handstand while peeing to mark trees.